Sandia Prime was once a lush world. With no axial tilt, it has only very minor seasons and almost no change in environment. Mostly subtropical forests with polar ice caps, Sandia Prime evolved no animal life other than small creatures similar to Earth's insects. Sandia Prime also turned out to be very rich in material resources. In 245 M39, the Adeptus Mechanicus invaded Sandia Prime and promptly began wide-scale mining and manufacturing operations. With little regard for maintaining the environment, Sandia Prime was quickly laid barren, with great deserts replacing the previous lush landscape. In short order, the planet had been harvested of a majority of the raw materials that interested mankind, and the Adeptus Mechanicus abandoned the planet in 412 M40. They thought they had removed all the technology, but they left behind a surprising amount of equipment and an even more surprising amount of raw materials. To this barren planet came the Orks. Spores landed and quickly began to grow and multiply. First, small bands of feral Orks roamed the wastes looking for the means to survive. Slowly the number of Orks grew and clashes began, as is the norm for Orks who have no one else to attack. Before long, the discovery of the abandoned technology by the Ork mechs resulted in an almost instantaneous transformation from feral to advanced mechanized Ork armies with the best equipment possible. Orks had no problems spending time and energy to gather raw materials that the Imperium deemed not viable to harvest. The number and quality of Ork killing machines quickly reached a surprising level. The wars between Ork bands grew increasingly violent. If not for a couple of isolated planet landings that briefly united the Orks, they probably would have wiped themselves out. At one point, a Tyrannid force landed on Sandia Prime looking for new genetic material. Despite successfully creating a beachhead, the Orks quickly gathered a wag and wiped out the Nid infestation with vastly superior firepower and overwhelming numbers. No genetic material left Sandia Prime. Another small landing by the Eldar was caught completely unaware of the Ork presence. They too were wiped out in short order. After these short fights, the Orks of Sandia Prime remain mostly unified. Small skirmishes and other competitions keep the boys in shape, waiting for the next army to foolishly attempt a landing. As it stands, the Orks of Sandia Prime are among the most cunning and technologically advanced warbands encountered by the Imperium. Fortunately, they lack the ability to leave the planet and carry their wag across the stars. After losing a small force of space marines sent to investigate the condition of the Orks on Sandia Prime, the Imperial Navy officially deemed the planet off-limits, and a blockade exists to prevent any spacefaring Ork war boss from recruiting the Orks into his wag. Should they ever leave the planet, the Orks of Sandia Prime represent a very serious threat to the Imperium.